Okay, this is day 157, the Awan brothers. Let's send this to Dan Scavino. Again, don't put a space there. Dan Scavino, Trump's social media person, and let's keep sending to RT and RT UK News. The big news is obviously Chuck Grassley, the person who heads the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, has sent a letter to the FBI saying, is Andrew McCabe running the Trump investigation? And if that's true, and he didn't declare the $675,000, that may be a conflict of interest. I'd also like to talk about the White House visas. You know, the fourth Awan brother doesn't get a mention much, but if you don't know the Awan brothers, there's 4 Pakistanis, there's 2 wives. They got top secret access as foreign nationals in the House of Representatives, which is odd. But the one that we don't mention often is Omar. Omar went to the White House and met with an immigration lawyer from Pakistan. I don't know if it was Khizr Khan or not. But talked about getting visas that I believe were diplomatic visas. And when you have diplomatic visas, that gives you a special power in the sense that you're allowed to send what's known as diplomatic pouches that are sealed that can go back and forth to the country of origin without being opened, without going through customs and so forth. Well, that power got expanded over time to be called diplomatic suitcases because people said, well, it won't fit in a pouch, so we'll go to diplomatic suitcases. Well, that people started saying, well, you know, we don't want our diplomats who move all the time to have to pay tax on furniture as they start moving it around. So they started allowing large containers being sent around, still under the guise or under the name of diplomatic suitcases. People even have had cars shipped as a diplomatic suitcase. So I asked a question today, we were talking about Pakistani mangoes, if that is you can actually ship food with diplomatic clearance. You can give food diplomatic clearance. That's the way people that, you know, are overseas that are French diplomats, for instance, have their wine sent in so that they can entertain the locals without having to pay the tax on the French wine. So I'm just wondering if the Pakistani embassy has asked for diplomatic clearance for its mangoes in Chicago. Just something else for the investigation to work on. Here's Grassley's letter, which is, he says, if you have potential conflict of interest in the Russia probe because you accepted $675,000 from the previous head of the DNC, which is Terry McAuliffe, who's currently the governor of Virginia. So here you can see Senate Judiciary Committee head Andrew McCabe, and he mentions the $675,000 potential conflict of interest for Trump. My question to Senator Grassley, and you can say at Chuck Grassley, just with L-E-Y on the end, Grass, L-E-Y. My question is, if it is true that, you know, McCabe did not disclose the $675,000, which he didn't, that was Catherine Herridge's report on Fox News a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't he have the same problem with the Hillary investigation, the Hillary server investigation, the Huma server investigation? And wouldn't he also want to write this same letter, just take out the word Trump, put the word Hillary in, take out the word Hillary, and then put the word Huma for a third letter, then take out the word Huma and put the word Awan brothers in there? And I'll introduce the Awan brothers if Senator Grassley doesn't know them, but it's certainly something that should be investigated by the FBI when you have 5 foreign nationals with top secret clearance working with the House of Representatives. So my summary again is here is Andrew McCabe saying F Ryan, and then we are going to F Trump. Here he is in a meeting, large meeting, saying I hate Trump. Here is the number 3 at the FBI, former number 3, saying no grand juries, no subpoenas, no court orders, immunity for all the conspirators all in on the same interview. These are crazy things the FBI never does. If all these things, the $675,000 and trying to shut down the Hillary and Huma investigations, if that $675,000 is a conflict of interest for Trump, wouldn't it be also for Hillary, Huma, and for the Awan brothers? A quick recap on the Awan brothers, if you're not familiar with them. They're 3 brothers from Pakistan. They're all working for House of Representatives. They're all making 3 times, 2.5 to 3 times what other people that are working in the office are doing. They also have an outside contracting company that's selling routers, Cisco routers, potentially to the U.S. government. The Jackie Spear asked for top secret clearance through Debbie Wasserman Schultz for these folks. So these are Pakistanis with top secret clearance. They have 22 companies, all in the mortgages and selling rice, agro marketing, a lot of rental cars and so forth. Easy buying rental car, Cars International, CIA, rental car centers, lots of stuff like that. One of their principals involved in one of their companies of Awan Brothers LLC is also from Pakistan. He's also involved in hiring two Guatemalan MS-13 gang members and killing a car dealer here in Virginia, Manassas, Virginia. So that's odd. Also, when their mother-in-law said she had trapped them and was tapping her phones and hacking her cell phone, they left the country. But before they left, there were 20 burglaries. Of the 20 different House of Representatives they worked for, were all burglarized for hard drives and thumb drives and routers. So they also had an external server, much like Huma and Hillary. So again, my question is, if the Trump server investigation, McCabe needs to recuse, why not the Huma server, the Hillary server, and the Awan server? And by the way, Senator Grassley, this is being only investigated by the Capitol Police, and we believe the FBI should be involved in this investigation. Nanoset's an interesting company because they're not only involved in the Virginia, Maryland area, but they are also involved down in the Texas area through Abdul Hasnat. He seems to be an expert in these Cisco routers. So we believe that Cisco routers were being sent into these large enterprises in the Texas area. The Awan brothers also seem to have a lot of military connection to the Pakistani military army, the 111th Division, which is their secret police, military police, special operations police, a lot of 111 paraphernalia on their cars, and skull and bones, etc. And they're also involved in bringing in animal pharmaceuticals to the United States, which obviously can be repurposed for human consumption. And they have these rice, which is a well-known drug dealing front for drug dealing, as well as they seem to be, this Nanoset technology company seems to be selling off intellectual property, like someone had hacked it and then was selling off the intellectual property in chunks through limited liability corporation spinoffs. So I won't go into all the different companies the Awan brothers seem to have. I don't know if they're directly related to the Awan brothers or not, but there's lots of companies in import-export in Pakistan, especially in the Lahore area, as well as getting people jobs and visas in the United States. This is the Awan brothers OEP for overseas employment. Here's a Awan brother company for getting people visas in the United States. Here's an Awan brothers trucking company that deals in fresh produce. There's some other ones that deal in gasoline stations, which just seems odd for congressional staffers to be so involved in so many different businesses, in addition to hacking and never really being seen on Capitol Hill. So that's all for this morning. And Senator Grassley, thank you for your time and attention.